Good morning, good morning, good morning. As always, I want to begin with a word of thanks. Forgive me, I'm starting late today. I was I forgot to push the go live button, y'all, so pray for me. I was into the message and I realized the thing was still saying go live. Anyway, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking and sharing all that you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can never thank you enough for all that you do. We're going to go into the word. Scripture text comes from the book of Mark. Mark, the first chapter. We're going to be looking at the 16th and 17th verses. In the book of Mark, 1:16 and 17, in the King James Version, it says, "Now as he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And Jesus said unto them, Come ye after me, and I will make you become fishers of men." For a few minutes, I want to talk to you with this thought in mind. Repurposed for his purpose. Repurposed for his purpose. One of my favorite cooking shows to watch is a show called Chopped. Chopped was introduced to me by the late Allie Brown, who recently passed. And I like Chopped because of the premise. There are 3 contestants, there are 3 judges, there are 3 rounds. Appetizer round, entree round, dessert round. And the thing about Chopped is they give you a mystery basket in each round. This mystery basket has 4 items. 4 items you otherwise probably wouldn't think go together, wouldn't think of putting together. They give you these 4 items, and you've got to find a way to bring these items that normally don't go together. You got to bring them together to work as one. Not only that, but you have to repurpose these items. So, for example, appetizer round, they may give you oranges, imitation crab meat, lime gelatin, and crunchy cheese curls. And it's up to you to find a way to bring these 4 things that don't go together as one. But not only that, repurpose them. In other words, they don't want to see the oranges coming back as, orange slices. They don't want to see these strips of imitation crab meat and see this lime gelatin just sitting there like the mold that, it was when it came out of the basket. They don't want to see these crunchy curls sitting there still looking like cheese doodles. Y'all remember we called them cheese doodles, hot cheese doodles back in the day when they first came out? Yeah, they don't want to see that. They're looking for it to have a different form. They're looking for the items to have a change about them. They're looking for a change, but yet to have those qualities still exist that were there before the change. In other words, you have to repurpose what you were given. Come on, walk with me. Somebody already walking with me to understand where I'm going with this. When we read the context associated with our text, it initially seems as if Jesus was just walking by and pointing people out. But critical analysis shows us that this wasn't a happenstance stroll. Jesus was on a mission as he walked the marina that day, and he had intent and purpose in what he was doing. Not only was Jesus walking with intentionality and purpose, but he was also looking to repurpose. Come on, walk with me, talk with me. Let's explore. Come on, we're going to explore the lives and calling of some of the disciples and how Jesus repurposed them for his purpose. First person he called was Andrew. Andrew was hanging out with his brother Peter, fishing. First person he called on was Andrew. Not just because Andrew was a fisherman. And he said, hey, you good at pulling in fish? I'm going to get you to show you how to pull in people. Not that, it's much deeper. See, Jesus knew Andrew was a disciple of John the Baptist. So Andrew already had familiarity with who Jesus was. Not only that, but Jesus knew that Andrew was that type of person that if they're part of something, if they believe in something, they go reach out to everybody they can. Come on, we know on the worst end of it, we know people that got in the pyramid schemes. And they call them multi-level marketing nowadays. And They want to bring everybody in. They calling you up, telling you come go to this meeting with them. Oh, don't worry about what the meeting about. Just come on, you'll like it. And they trying to get everybody in on what they didn't get into. Come on, we know some people, y'all, on the great end of it. They've joined church. They getting themselves together. Now they telling everybody everywhere they go, to the point it might even get on your nerves about God. That's all they talk about. Hey, let me tell you, it's like the people was in the Bible. When Jesus would heal them or do anything for them, hey, let me show you a man. Yes. They had a song about that back in the day. Y'all know I love music. Said there's a stranger in town and he's healing. Come on, y'all. Send 6 souls. First person he called was Peter. I'm sorry, Andrew. He called Andrew and Peter. Peter was number 2 because he was there with him. And no doubt Andrew had already told his brother Peter about Jesus. He'd already told him while they out there fishing, while they trolling the Sea of Galilee. Hey, let me tell you what about this guy Jesus, because he was there for the baptism. So now you got Peter. You got Peter coming in, a fisherman. Not only because he can catch fish, much deeper than that. Because Jesus knew Peter before Peter knew Jesus. Jesus already knew all about Peter before Peter even knew about Jesus. Ain't that good that God know us before we know him? That's another sermon for another time. But he knew Peter was outspoken. He knew Peter will open up his mouth in a minute, sometime without even thinking. Like when he, said, asked disciples, who do men say that I am? And they were saying, and he said, well, who do you say I am? And Peter spouting out, thou art the Christ. He said, hey, Peter, flesh and blood ain't revealed that to you. This ain't you just popping off like usual. That's the spirit that got in you, brother. Yes, that's when he changed his name. Rock. Simon, Peter, Rock. For that he called him Simon Bar Jonah, Simon son of Jonah, son of Jonah. Simon the fisherman, the man in the way of Jonah, the fisherman. He's Rock. He's solid because he know who the Lord is. Want to be solid? Get to know the Lord. But he knew Peter was a solid stand scrapper. Peter believed in something. Peter stood for something. Hey, he knew Peter will fight you because of what he believed in. Like he did in the garden when hey, you ain't getting it, my Lord. Wipe that ear. Like Peter, out there cussing them people off around fire. Hey, I don't know him. Hey, wasn't you with him? Yeah, you was with him. I recognize you. You talk like him. Peter got the cussing. I ain't gonna say what he said because I wasn't there, but I can imagine. Peter got the cussing. Even on Pentecost, Peter with that mouth. People sitting there murmuring, they talking under their breath and outside their neck. They ain't asked Peter nothing. They ain't asked Peter what's going on. But Peter said, hey, player, what it ain't is what you say it is. Too early to be drunk. What you seeing is a move of the Holy Spirit. And he began to explain what was going on from a biblical text. Any other time, if Peter had known Jesus, boy, it'd have been hell to tell the captain. Peter about what it got with them people. He pulled that thing out in a minute. But he also knew that Peter was a challenger. Peter challenges people. Peter don't mind standing up to a challenge. Think about it. When they was out there on the water, winds blowing, they scared they gonna die, and they looking saw something walking across the water. They thought it was a ghost. They even got scared. Oh Lord, it's death coming for us. What did Peter do? If you are the Lord, tell me to come. He challenged Jesus. If you are who we think you are, if you are who I think you are, then make this happen. He called Jesus out. And Peter was a natural born leader. He knew that. So he called him and he repurposed all of these qualities of Peter for his purpose. Not long after called Andrew and Peter, he called number 3 and number 4, James and John, the sons of thunder. They had called the sons of thunder 2 brothers. Ooh, fiery, passionate, bold. Man, they get with you too. He saw them fixing their nets. They're out there mad, fighting with the net. Net done broke and they trying to get it together. He called them. See, and he knew who they were. He knew James was a hothead. James was the one that was wanted when they was going through the Samaritan village. They wouldn't take Jesus in. Hey, Lord, let us call James and John. Let us call down fire and burn this joint. Burn it down to the ground. Either you go accept, come on, let me tell y'all what he's basically saying. Either you go accept the Lord into your house or burn. Come on. Jesus repurposed him because James started preaching. Accept or burn. Either you go accept the Lord or you go burn in hell. Now, I'm going to burn your stuff down like you want to do. You go burn in hell. He went on to evangelize even after the ascension. Mark 9. It was John who stood up and said, hey, Lord, I see some people over there that ain't like us. They ain't part of us. Over there doing what we doing. They got to cut that out. But Jesus let them know, hey, as long as they doing the thing, they good. He wanted to fight them. But then Jesus took that, flipped it, and if you look at John, you look at the gospel according to John, you look at John 1, 2, 3, you look at Revelation, John was letting people know it don't matter which way you coming from as long as you getting the work done, as long as you about that business, as long as you about that kingdom business, it don't matter which way you come, just get that work done. James, let me go back to James, y'all. James was the first of the apostles to be martyred. It was Herod Agrippa that had him beheaded. Preaching that gospel. John, they put him in prison. They put him on a prison island, penal colony. He kept writing. He kept preaching. He preached to the people there. Same way Jesus preached to those in exile, those in hell while he was buried. John preached to the people on that island. He was saving souls out while he was in jail. When he got out, he went back out there. He got back out there in the field after that 18 months in jail. Went right back to preaching. Repurposed for his purpose. On down the way, Jesus walking along, he saw a tax collector named Matthew. Told him, follow me. Matthew obviously had heard about him. He got up right away and followed him. He left a lucrative job. He left a good government job. He had a good government job with benefits. Even though some people ain't like it because to his people, because he worked for the government, because he stood for the government, even though this was what he got paid to do, to collect these taxes for the government, they considered it an Uncle Tom job. He was Uncle Tom. We ain't had nothing to do with him. That's old. He out there toning for them white folks. For the Romans, I'm sorry, y'all. he out there cooning for the government. He gonna make it look good for the government. That was his job. He had a job not too many people were willing to do because of what came along with it. Yeah, it had good benefits, but your people don't want to have nothing to do with you. He had a job that people really didn't want. Jesus knew, hey, I got a job for you that nobody really wants because of what comes along with it. The job he had for Matthew was lucrative. The job he had for Matthew was beneficial, but a lot of people didn't want it. That's why they started giving excuses. He said, hey, come follow me. And they started giving excuses. He said, hey, oh, well, my daddy dead. Let the dead bury the dead. Oh, I got this to go take care of back at home. Okay, well, let home take care of home. Follow me. They started people was giving Jesus excuses because it was something that nobody wanted to do because nobody wanted to be seen with him, really. Not too many people because of what came along with it. Unfortunately, after the ascension, fortunately, Matthew went east, preaching. That was fortunate. But unfortunately, he was martyred. He was stabbed by a swordsman because King of Ethiopia got mad at him. He wanted King of Ethiopia trying to get with his own niece. Matthew saying that ain't right. Matthew preaching, she got converted to Christianity. She told the king, hey, according to my Christian belief, I can't be doing that. I'm standing on my Christian belief. Sometimes we got to put our Christian belief before what others want us to do. She said, I'm standing on this. And so he had him killed. I can't get the woman I want, and it's your fault. You got to go. And then there's old Judas. Oh, Judas. I'm going to talk good about Judas this morning, y'all. Judas Iscariot. I know y'all thinking, how you talk good about the man who betrayed Jesus. Well, Judas was a financier. Y'all know what a financier is. That's a person whose job it is to find money. That was his job. He was a financier. He find money for people. He create avenues of income for people. He made money for people. You know, it was Judas who, when they fed the people fish and bread, said, hey, hold on. Y'all giving out this fish and bread. Do you know how much money we could have made off of that? When the woman anointed Jesus' feet. Hey, hold up. You know we could have got from there with that oil out there in the alabaster box? Now, how much money that we could have got for that? What you doing? Judas was about that paper. He was about that bread. He was about that money. Judas was also an embezzler. He was a thief. Jesus made him the treasurer, even though he was a thief. I thought I'd just say that fast, slip that in there. Jesus knew who Judas was, but he used him. Knew he's an embezzler, but he made him the treasurer. Boy, Jesus got some trust in people. But one thing about a thief, y'all, a thief ain't gonna let nobody else steal. Let me say that again. One thing about a thief ain't gonna let nobody else steal. You want somebody to make sure your money there? Give it to a thief. They ain't gonna let nobody steal it. They might borrow some of it, but they ain't gonna let nobody else steal it. And see, although Jesus knew who Judas was and what he was capable of, what he would eventually do, Jesus still chose Judas. This goes to show us that even the flawed can be repurposed. Even the flawed can be used to bring about the will of God. It also shows us that not everybody walking with the Lord go get their life all the way together. Let me say that again. Everybody walking with the Lord ain't gonna get their life all the way together. They ain't gonna have it all. Matter of fact, ain't none of us gonna have it all. We ain't gonna be perfect. Ain't nobody gonna be perfect that's walking with the Lord. We might be a little better than what we used to be, but we won't be perfect until we reach the house of perfection, Doc. Until we get over there, we ain't gonna be perfect. We still gonna have our flaws, but he loves us, flaws and all. Now, y'all, these are just some examples of how the Lord can and will repurpose for his purpose. Let me give y'all a sidebar. If you look at those, not just disciples, but those people who God has chosen from time immemorial, all the way back in the beginning, all the way up to now, even look at ourselves, look at those around us, you'll notice that the Lord has turned some bad people, some bad traits, some bad qualities into good. And he took some good traits, some good qualities, some good people and made them great. Whatever level it is, when you come to him, he always go elevate it. He go change it for the better. And he does this using ordinary people. There was an old song they used to sing called Just Ordinary People. Song say just ordinary people. God uses ordinary people. He chooses people just like me and you who are willing to do what he commands. God uses people that will give him all. No matter how small your all may seem to you, because little becomes much as you place it in the master's hand. Just ordinary people. Now, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I'm about to wrap it up. Before I get out of here, I want to give you another example. There was a man named Paul. Y'all heard about him. Prosecuting the church. Persecuting the Christians. Paul went around with warrants. Death warrants. Taking out the Christians. Paul, born a Jew by heritage, born a Roman by citizenship, because he was born in Rome. That's a quality Jesus could use because, see, he's somebody I can use because he can reach somebody that others can't reach. He can get up there to Rome and talk to them. He can go up to Rome and speak their language. Yes, sir, Doc. You got to use ordinary people to do extraordinary things. He can get up there to Rome and talk with them Romans. But not only that, see, he won't, if they capture him, he won't suffer the same penalties as the others because he is a Roman citizen. The Lord said I could use that. Paul had great zeal. He stood on business and he believed that if you were doing wrong and the law says this, he followed the letter of the law. Look at his bio when he gives his bio. He says, I was the Hebrew of the Hebrews, Pharisee of the Pharisees. I followed the letter of the law and I believed what I was doing was right because it was according to the letter of the law. He said, I could use somebody that if I can put this word in them, they know how to stand on this word and stand strong and firm on it without wavering. He used Paul. That's why he turned him around on the Damascus road when he said, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? Why are you kicking against the pricks? Man, this thing gonna happen. Why are you fighting it? Stop fighting against it and start fighting for it. Paul got up and the persecutor turned into a prosecutor. The persecutor became a prosecutor in the court of salvation. He began to prosecute those who were not saved and tell them, come on over to the Lord. Now, he wasn't killing them or getting them killed like he was when he was persecuting. But he's letting them know if you don't change your ways, you will die in your sin. Matter of fact, you already dead in your sin. You will die a second death. The persecutor became a promoter. The man who persecuted Christianity started promoting Christianity. Look at how he used Paul. Look how he repurposed Paul. My brothers and sisters, there's a song that says, if you can use anything, you can use me. Well, y'all, I want to tell you, and I want to add to it. I want to put a little something to that. If the Lord can use me, I know he can use you. If he can use me, and not that I've been the worst that there was, and not bragging on myself, but I haven't been the best that there is. Yes, I got saved at a young age. Yes, I was called at a young age, but my life ain't always been right, but yet he used me. Yet he chose me. He knew who I was before I knew who he was. And he chose me. He used me even in the days in my young 20s and going through the teens and on into the 20s when I wanted to venture out and see what it was like to be a teen and do what the others are doing in the 20s and got away from him a little bit. Yet he still used me because the things that I learned, the things that I dealt with, the things I went through, he was able to repurpose that and bring it into the house. If he can use me, I know he can use you. If he can use someone like me, a hothead, I call him the beast. Somebody, y'all don't know about the beast. I'm going to leave that alone. That guy mean, surly, evil. Yeah, cuss you out, fight with you. But see, he was able to repurpose. He's able to repurpose the beast. Not that the beast is gone, not that I'm perfect, but yet. So I know, y'all, if he can use me, he can use you. I came to tell somebody this morning that the Lord wants to use you. The Lord wants to turn your bad into good and your good into great. The Lord wants to use you no matter where you are, where you stand, how you stand. He wants to use you in his service. He wants to repurpose you for his purpose. It don't matter how bad you are, how far gone you think you are, he can still use you. If you don't think you have nothing to offer him, or what you had off ain't good enough, let me tell you, God can take a little and turn it into a lot. Just do the best you can with what you got. That's another one of them old songs, y'all. Don't think that you're so far off that he can't use you. Because, see, there's no mountain too high for him to reach. See, that's the good people. There's no valley too low. See, they say that's the bad people. But let me tell you something. I'm going to say it like that. Ain't no devil in hell that he can't change if they want to. It ain't no saved saint he can't use. They think they're too holy. You might think you got it all and you're doing good, but there's something more that he can do with you. You might think you're so far off and so bad that he can't do nothing with you. Yes, he can. He can change anybody. He can turn anybody around, but you got to be willing. You got to be like Andrew, Peter, Matthew, Judas, all the disciples and everybody else he called. You got to be willing to walk with him. See, he not go force you. He not go drag you by the hand. He gives you that option. Do you want to or don't you want to? And contrary to what some may say, let me tell you something. You ain't got to get yourself together before you come to him. You ain't got to get it right first. See, he go get it right for you. Just come to Jesus as you are. See, that's not about clothing. That's not about what you're wearing. That's where your heart is. That's where you stand. That's how you feel about yourself. That's how you're doing in life. That's where your stance in life. Be it that you're a booger bow or unbooger bow, whatever it is. He wants to use you, and you can just come as you are. Lay it all out before him and say, Lord, here I am. Use me. He wants to hear that from you today. He wants to use you. He wants to repurpose you for his purpose. And I came to let somebody know that he will turn your sin. See, you think because you're in sin, he can't use you. The Lord will take that sin of yours and turn it around. That's what he's good at doing. He's good at turning sin around. Let me tell you, he turned my sin around. And that don't mean that because he turned your sin around, that you now start to bash other people that's doing that same sin. You show them how he turned your sin around. Because let me tell you, when he turned your sin around, it becomes this. I know, look at it backwards, y'all seeing it. You turn the word around, it becomes this. He'll turn your sin into this. What is this? Happiness, delightfulness, faithfulness, loveliness, wonderfulness, beautifulness, wholeness, holiness, usefulness. The Lord will turn your sin into this. Oh, my brothers and sisters, he'll give you that old testimony them preachers used to give. They say, I was traveling on a downward road, no God on my side and no heaven in view, no hat on my head and no shoes on my feet. The shackles of damnation on my hand and on my feet and the handcuffs of hell on my hands. But the Lord cut loose my stammering tongue, picked me up and turned me around. He set me on my way, and ever since that day, I've been sometime rising and sometime falling. But yet I made a vow to the Lord, I'll never turn back no more. That's me, y'all. I started off on the right way, but y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I got off the path. I ventured off the path intentionally. I knew what I was doing. I knew I was walking away, but see, I figured I could straddle the fence. I figured I could take this detour here and then cut back through the woods when it was time to be on that side of the road. I could venture off over here and do what I want to do. Then on Sunday, I can swing back over here. Well, it got to where for a little while I was just going up the road over here and forgot about the right road over here. I was just going up that left side of the road. Oh, then one day the Lord said, hey, that ain't what I purposed you for. That ain't my plan for you. And he showed me a vision and he turned my sin into this. Yes, be blessed, my brothers. Be blessed, my sisters. God wants to use you. He wants to repurpose you for his purpose. I love you. God loves you. Ain't a dadgum thing you, me, anybody else can do about it.